them hips do? Alright, it's time for my favorite day of the week, more Demons of the Shadow Realm. Do me a solid, let's get this video to at least 250 likes, show your support, so make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and of course the Patreon. We do the full live reactions to all these episodes and more. Let's jump into this bad boy. Bro, what type of big dick play is that? How did you become our master? Oh, it's bait, because now they think left and right are his, which keeps the real master safe. Holy shit, this is wild! This is already the coolest fight we've had. Disturbing as hell, but the fucking mobility of everything is... Oh my god. Oh, he karate. I forgot there's multiple limbs. Fucking karate chop side swipe. Yo, these are some disturbing creatures, but in terms of an ability and, like, overall fight, I do think it steals the show. Holy shit! Watch how that spins! This just feels disrespectful, and I'm here for it. Ew. Get a room, you two. Sick perverts. Yeah, you try to cop a feel. That's sexual harassment. The murder and chaos I can overlook, but the copping of his balls? This whole fight has been nothing but lies. So if he's acting like he has seal, they're naturally going to believe that he lied about not having it. There we go. Got that Attack on Titan Eren Yeager special. Now, I ain't gonna lie, they had me in the first half. I actually thought he unleashed Seal. And I think it's the bait, because you see him get slammed down seemingly with a giant tree, roots and all. It very much looks like, oh shit, like, that could be a death blow. The only benefit is if he does die, in theory, as long as he accepts the hand, you know, he comes back with an ability. Though, unfortunately, coming back with that ability could paint an even bigger target on his head, and also the concept of being able to at least die once in theory, get out of jail free card, you don't want to use that too soon. But when his eyes start glowing and he's doing the whole hand maneuver, I was like, okay, that actually, it could work. Early into the show, maybe not what I was expecting initially, but I see the path forward. The fact that this entire fight was a misdirect from the very beginning, whether it's our adoptive daddy saying, I'm left and right's master in order to make the lanky-ass demons target him rather than Yuru. Like, everything about this fight was nothing but misdirect and really creative design. Giving that brief moment for left and right to come in swinging and absolutely annihilate, drowning one, and then as the other is desperately looking for its pal, sniping the other. You know, if these things weren't total abominations, I'd probably feel a little bad, but in general, they absolutely deserved it. I mean, they came in swinging right away, and these things were just peak horror design and disturbing, right? Like, from the beginning, I was just like, this is Temu left and right, and I like the fact that even left and right acknowledged the fact that had they just pursued their life differently, they probably would have been worshipped as gods. Like, they had everything going for them, and they just chose the worst path. Yeah. I still would have been creeped out by them if they would have turned out to be completely nice and on our side. But there absolutely would have been a path forward for them to be remembered and worshipped and so much more than the life they ultimately ended up with. But it was nice to see how they ultimately utilized everything. I mean, hell, even Grandma was, you know, better than I was expecting. Yeah, she kind of decides to look after her own skin at one point and, you know, give up information. But to be honest, put in her shoes, I mean, who's not going to preserve their own life over someone they just met, right? Like, yeah, you guys have been nice to me, but at the end of the day, I don't want to get strangled to death and my head pop. And thankfully, our boy comes in swinging and saves her. But the whole episode didn't exactly go according to plan, and that's honestly what makes it such an enjoyable episode. I mean, the utilization of modern weaponry, of course, the concept of maybe if we were to point a gun right at their face and shoot, they would probably be able to quickly figure out what happened, even though they didn't know what a gun was. But doing it from such a distance, I mean, this isn't the first time even in this season where people were unsure of what the hell happened. How did someone's head explode from a distance, right? Is this magic? Is this an attack we don't know of? They did quickly adjust to the sniper rifle, but seeing that type of competence from someone like him, it's very enjoyable because they kind of bait you in when the warehouse is kind of exposed. I'm thinking he's going to come out with an AK-47 or something because all we see is assault rifles and pistols. No, he brings out the big dog. And this thing was, one of the shots that they did spun the head damn near 360. That's how powerful the rifle actually was. And honestly, I like seeing them completely confused about what was happening, but I like that it wasn't just like, okay, we're fighting a bunch of stupid demons who get kind of sniped a bit, so now we are just dealing with imbeciles. They are goofy as hell, they're silly, they're creepy as hell, I mean, they're lanky sons of bitches, but they immediately adjust. They start doing these little piggyback rides because then it gives them bigger height. And he even says, like, shit, if they look my way, they'll be able to see me now. The fact that we weren't fighting idiots. We were fighting incredibly disturbing horror that, I'm telling you, had this shit been in Silent Hill, you're turning Silent Hill off and going to play Rayman or something, because fuck this shit. But it was just such a cool fight. I like the fact that because they're so lanky, it basically acted as, like, tentacles. They were fucking karate chopping, backhanding, they were going, like, there was literally a moment in this episode where one of the characters says, how fucking far can they reach? Because what the hell, bro? It feels like we're across the field and they're still reaching us effortless. And honestly, I'm going to make a prediction. I think it's going to take many, many fights for me to say there's something more creative and fun than this fight. Now, I'm sure there's going to be Sakuga. I'm sure there's going to be explosive fights. But it's just how fucking weird, and the fact that they played into the weird. Often, a show like this, yeah, you're going to have that creepy design. Yeah, they're a little lanky, a little weird. But they actually made them peak disturbing. Like, I feel like I walked through some mist, I ended up in some horror design game, and Slender Man looks like an appealing appetizer that I'd rather dive into than whatever the fuck these things were. And like I said, it's oddly disturbing. I mean, when the one's being drowned, and I think it was Wright who chomps on the arm, this thing's trying to desperately look for its pal. If you guys just wouldn't have been dicks, you guys could have lived out thousands more years, and you could have been revered as gods. And instead, we had to watch you get your head blown off Eren Yeager style as the other drowned. These things were assholes, they definitely deserved it, but by the end, it was a little disturbing, I ain't gonna lie. We also did get some information, what's going on. Now, I'm not saying Fat Subaru, one of the brothers, couldn't still be Bad News Bears, especially given last episode with everything being foreshadowed. Could be a misdirect, but it also feels like foreshadowing. But yeah, middle brother's also up to no good. I mean, right now we got one brother who is okay, but honestly, we got a lot of people targeting us. We got the village, we got the mansion, probably some third party who's been manipulating everything behind the scenes. It's just, there's a lot of targeting, and it's just going to be a matter of when he has to unleash Seal. It very well might not happen until the end of the story, or it's going to happen early. I don't think it will happen in the middle. It's either it's going to happen relatively early into the story or at the very end. It's entirely possible to write the show with a long-term plot where he's doing some crazy things. Like, we saw how quickly they were scared of Seal, right? But I feel like if you do it around the middle point, it doesn't make sense. It's either we do it soon or we do it at the end when everything's ending. And I honestly think it's probably going to be near the end of the show at this point, because I feel like this would have been a prime opportunity to do so. So we'll see. But yeah, Seal's going to be deadly. Not to say Break isn't as well, but it's just like the way that just that hand movement immediately made them so scared, like, we don't want to be sealed away. Unfortunately, I hope Seal and Break never happen after these twins. Will it? Probably, but it will be interesting to see what they pull off. Fantastic episode, though. Creepy as hell, disturbing. The animation was insane. Some people aren't going to say this is as Sakuga-filled as other episodes might be in the future because there's not a lot of special effects like explosions. But the way that every single time I watched those lanky-ass limbs move around the map, I was impressed. It was absolutely jaw-dropping animation and disturbing as fuck. Now, those are my feelings on this week's episode. You can let me know yours down in the comment section below. What did you think of this fight? And are you with me? You think it's going to happen near the end of the show or pretty early into the show when Seal unleashes? Let me know. Leave a like, share, support those, subscribe, ring that bell, and of course, Patreon for live reactions over there and other exclusives, because, you know, look, gotta give those video shoutouts too, because my patrons make it all possible over here on YouTube. Alright, so today we got Mig021, Gareth Green, Durberg Jude, Arter Kuhnhan, Devin Mitchell, Tony Axe, Spectra, Monsi7, and we also got Bunake, so I appreciate the support. Please take care, you know, have a good one.